Hi guys, how's it going? Okay, what we're looking at now is we're going to take a couple courses outside of the discussion questions and outside the normal mods. I want you to look at things from another perspective. FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Administration from the United States government, has got some interesting classes. I think they could be useful and beneficial to you throughout your career. You can also get a certificate out of it, and there's a number of other classes that you can participate in, and I think they're very, very informative. They'll give you a base knowledge of the incident command system from the federal government. Also, they're part of the National Incident Management System from the federal government as well. FEMA's they went through some growing pains in Katrina, and you may do some research and discover that FEMA was dealt some misery during Katrina. So that being said, they've revamped and restructured significantly. They're getting a lot better at what they do. Unfortunately, when it comes to the disaster response and terrorist stuff and things of that nature, it's almost a trial by fire process, no pun intended. And it's really, really hard. I mean, because I think Katrina was a significant turning point for FEMA. And the best thing about it is they learned. And I know that people want to get into the politics about Katrina and FEMA and everything else. We're not doing that. We're not interested in that. We're interested in the bottom line up front factor. So what I'm looking for you from this module, you're going to have a couple courses. By the end of this module, you're going to be able to identify the risk management process for federal facilities. That's basically the pinnacle. That's basically the capstone, because most people are going to model themselves from federal facilities, or they're going to take that knowledge that they can glean from federal facilities and use it into the private corporations and things of that nature. Federal facility level FSL determination. Identify the fundamentals of risk management. So we're still going to keep going to that, because there's a lot of base knowledge in there. There's a lot of terms that are going to be used on a regular basis. The checklist. Okay, once you completed this module, you will have watched the video. Obviously, you'll have the introduction to the FEMA risk management. That's going to give you that foundation we were just talking about. I want you to take the listed FEMA courses on the FEMA website for a grade. You will submit that to me. Okay, do your best. You got multiple chances to take it. Do your best. All these little points here and there, this is going to be a graded point or graded process. So just take it as many times as you need to get the grade that you want. All right, I'm not going to beat you up, and it's easy. Just knock it out and do well for me. The FEMA IS 454 course, Fundamentals of Risk Management discussion question. So we have our discussion question. So you've probably figured out by now, I'm a huge advocate of the discussion questions. I like to share information. I like us to get together and bounce things off of each other. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a healthy process. Okay, that being said, let's go ahead and move forward. What we're going to do is, again, there's going to be a number of courses that you can take. I've got a list of them. Basically, it's going to be, you got terrorist attacks against buildings, you got designs for commercial buildings, you've got, hang on a second, let me move my slides down. You got insurance finance, you got the technical aspect for risk management in buildings, you got urban design for security, there's a handbook for rapid visual screening buildings for terrorism risk, incremental protection for existing commercial buildings. So there's a lot of courses, there's a lot of information in there. It's a series that's dedicated to providing guidance for mitigating multi-hazard events. They include the series includes a large cadre man-made disaster publications directed at strengthening building inventory, reduce the potential impact that might be anticipated in a terrorist incident. So we're going to lean more towards a terrorist incident. We're going to get into some of the stuff with natural disasters, but we're going to lean towards a terrorist incident. It's a criminal aspect on this one. The objective of this series is to reduce, there's my word, come on, mitigate. That's what we want. The structural damage and non-structural components of building related infrastructure, to reduce the casualties, the impacts, be it by bangs and booms and chemical attacks and things of that nature. Also, we're going to take a look at earthquakes, floods, high winds. We're going to touch on some of the natural disaster aspect of it. Again, the underlying issue is that by improving mitigation, you'll better be positioned to protect from potential threats and hazard. Okay, guys, it's not that hard. It's not overly complicated. You'll be able to protect your business, so you can protect your organization. There's multiple audiences that can be used for these courses. Okay, when we get to the discussion question, what I'll be looking for from the discussion question is going to be pretty straightforward. And let me get to it real quick. Again, basically what you've learned in the FEMA course, Fundamentals of Risk Management, explain the difference, how the concept and principles of risk management apply in the home, in the workplace, and in the community. What I'm getting at is what you can do, guys. You can take this information that you learn from these modules, and it's basic security awareness, it's basic security concept. It's nothing crazy. It's stuff that you can take and you can use it in your home. You can use it in your place of work. You can use it in the community. But it's going to give you a good foundation. I think it's going to help you out tremendously, and I think you guys are going to have a good takeaway from it. So get started on that. Hit me up if you got any questions, and look forward to seeing you next time on the modules.